Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the work week and welcome back to the Crew First Culture podcast. My name is Jeremy and thank you for joining me today. This is the Monday Mindset Check episode, so going to be a little bit shorter. It's going to be just me and it's going to be some things that I really hope can add some value to your life. And that's kind of the focus and like I said, the hope of these episodes. There are usually things that are on my mind with most likely things I'm trying to work through myself or things I've thought up that I need to kind of put some time to think about and just evaluate and kind of some introspection stuff and things like that and pretty much anywhere in between. And so getting started right now is one of those times where I've talked about in the past, my mind is just kind of going crazy and I don't know kind of what spurs these times on, if it's certain things that I hear or see that kind of trigger thoughts but I am kind of in the middle of one of these times. And although these times are a little challenging because I have to really focus on not allowing it to take over my time and my priorities and all that. And it's hard to sleep and other things as well, but I do enjoy them because it feels really good to be in this kind of mindset. It's like a hyper, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like my mind is racing and there's so many things that are going on. A lot of them, yeah, it makes no sense, and a lot of them there's nothing to really make of it yet, but it's just like a time where something is coming and you just gotta kind of work through it to get it out. And so some of today's topic is really comes from that. And that's just a thought that I had, I believe it was just yesterday or the day before, but and this is what it is. Courage cannot exist without fear. And I want you to kind of think about that for a second. I'll say it again. Courage cannot exist without fear. And I think this is a big topic. And like I said, these episodes are shorter at least than the full length episodes. So I'm not going to just wear it out. Kind of the purpose of these Monday episodes is to hit you with a topic, maybe discuss it a little bit as far as just kind of what I am thinking about it, but then just let you go with it, let you run with it, let you place it into your life and kind of evaluate where you are, maybe bring it up with family, friends, at work, whatever, and just let you go with it. And so, like I said, I think this is a big topic, especially if we are discussing it as a fire service, because what is the fire service full of? It's full of big personalities, big egos, people that they fight what you fear. And so I think that we just generalizing those of us that are firefighters, that are, a part of the fire service, and this can go into the military, this can go into law enforcement, anything that involves that type of mentality, the bigger than life, the facing situations that most people are running from. This is a topic that we need to look at because we like to portray ourselves as bigger than life. We like to portray ourselves as fearless, and it's just not true. I don't care who you are. And if it is true, this is the challenge I want to put out. If it is true, like I said to start this out, if you are truly fearless, then you you don't have courage. Courage cannot exist if you are fearless. Because, and this is, right before I pushed record, I looked up the definition of courage, and here you go. Here's as a couple different definitions. Courage, the ability to do something that frightens you. So to me, it kind of sounds like fear. It kind of sounds like you are doing something that you're scared of. It sounds like it takes courage to fight fear. It sounds like it takes courage to do something that you fear. So it, that's kind of going along with the topic. So the next one, courage, the strength in the face of pain or grief. And so I think that's a really good one too. And so maybe that doesn't specifically address fear, but you are fighting things that hurt, pain, grief. And a lot of people fear that stuff. I don't think anybody just enjoys pain. I don't think anybody enjoys grief. And so, I think it's right there on the same line. So this is where I'm going is, if you claim to be fearless and you claim that nothing scares you, then, first of all, that's bullcrap. It's a total lie. And you need to work on some honesty and some humility right off the bat. I'll just say that. But you are not a courageous person unless you have fear, unless there are things you're scared of, unless there are things that you have to fight through. That is what courage is. Our job is centered and based, and the whole foundation of who we are through the public eye is courage. That's who the public, or that's the word that the public thinks of when they think of the fire service or the law enforcement or the military. We are the embodiment of courage. But are we truly living up to that? Are we truly fighting the things that we fear? Or are we allowing that fear to take over our lives, to influence our decisions, to hold us back from our purpose? And like most of the things I bring up, that is the target right there. Our purpose. Are we allowing fear to keep us from our purpose? The one reason we are put here on this earth, and we are letting fear of something hold us back from gaining that. That's a big, big deal. And so that's where we need to really sit and think, what are we afraid of? What is holding us back? And, when these things are brought up, it's always very easy to let our mind run towards, fear of fire, or fear of a building collapse, or fear of a traffic accident that you're working, and somebody, crashes into it, big fears that are very obvious and just kind of cliche almost. And that's okay. That's not, I'm not saying that's not what I'm talking about, because you can legitimately be afraid of that, but I'm going deeper here. And like I said, we're talking about purpose. And so to talk about purpose, you have to really dig deep inside. It could be as simple as doing the right thing. Doing the right thing is not easy. Sometimes, maybe. But for the most part, if you're doing the right thing and others aren't, that's a very hard thing to do. You can be very afraid of public opinion if you are doing the right thing when others aren't. because doing the right thing is not always the popular thing. Doing the right thing is not always what the majority is doing. So it takes a lot of courage to do the right thing when others aren't. That's what I'm talking about. What are you afraid of? Something I have always been afraid of, or just not comfortable with, however you wanted to describe it, is public speaking, being in front of people talking. And so obviously this, I wouldn't say this is public speaking, but I will tell you this right now, and I've said it over and over again, this is way outside of my comfort zone. Even sitting here talking to a microphone, basically talking to my cell phone with nobody here, I still know that there is a chance that a lot of people would hear it. And so that is not comfortable with me. There is a part of me that is scared of that. There's a part of me that is afraid that I will say something that others won't like, others will think is stupid, others will look down on me for saying. That is a fear of mine. And that has held me back in the past. And so that has been something that I have had to fight, because I know this is a part of my purpose. And so that's where I'm going. And that's what I really want you to focus on is what is holding you back? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of looking bad in front of others? You know, it's a funny thing. Like I said, there are so many huge personalities and real big, tough men and women that do this job. But these big, tough men and women are scared to death to look stupid in front of the people they work with. And it's like that's a total oxymoron. If you're so big and tough and type A personality and this and that, you're a lion, get out there and do it. If you fail, okay, who cares? I bet you learned something from it, but at least you're doing it. It's so funny to me that you have these people that talk and talk and talk, and they're the ones that they know it all, and they've been in through it all, and they've seen it all. But when it comes to sitting there doing something in front of somebody else that maybe new or maybe kind of a little bit out of their comfort zone or anything, they're the ones in the back hiding. And why are they hiding? Because of fear. They are afraid to mess up. They are afraid to do something that goes against all their talking. They're afraid that people are going to see them for who they really are. And that's a fake. Stop talking and start doing. Stop being afraid. There is an endless amount of good that can come from you messing up. Yeah, you're going to get made fun of. But honestly, anybody that is in the fire service, I'm going to go ahead, just jump out on a limb. I've never been a law enforcement officer. I've never been in the military. But I will say both of those professions as well, you're going to get made fun of for something every day. So who cares? Because I guarantee you, you're probably, if you get it, you're probably going to be making fun of others as well all day long. That's just part of it. That's part of that is literally one of my favorite parts of this job. So get over it. Give them something to make fun of, because I guarantee you, yeah, they might make fun of you because you messed something up, but you also taught them something. You probably showed them something that they could fix before they messed up themselves. So that's kind of where I'm going, is that I see it so often, and it's almost funny, but it's also very, very irritating that, we want to talk a big game, but when it truly comes down to learning and growing, helping others to grow, we're too scared. We're too scared to get off the sidelines and do it. We're too scared to actually reach out of that comfort zone to do something that we feel is bigger than us, that we should be doing, because it probably is a part of your purpose. If you feel like something is pushing you towards, you know, something bigger than yourself, that means something. That means you better start getting out of that comfort zone and going towards that, because that is part of why you are here. And yes, you're going to have to fight things that are not comfortable. You're going to have to fight things that you are scared of. But you truly wouldn't be working towards your purpose if that wasn't the case. You can't help others if you haven't been through anything. I know some people that have had very comfortable lives. They've not had, issues with their spouses. They've had a pretty happy marriage. They grew up with a pretty happy family. They never really dealt with anything, or maybe, they just weren't exposed to it. They just have never been exposed to the trials and the challenges of life. And I promise you, my friends, that is not me. I have had a lot of trials, a lot of challenges. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about this. I wouldn't trade that, because you can just see these people. And I'm not talking down at anybody, but if you haven't been through these things, you can't truly value life. You can't truly value the things that you have. And so, I am happy for what I've been through, because I hope that I can help others because of it. And I try my best to use those situations to help others. So, you know, without fear, or excuse me, a lot of us are fearing failure. A lot of us are fearing humiliation. But what is worse, failure and humiliation, or regret? I'm going to say personally that I think regret is much worse than failure and humiliation. First of all, I have very much come to terms with the fact that if I am not failing at things, it probably means I'm not trying anything. Probably means I'm not doing anything. And it probably means I'm not growing, because that is a part of the process. And it's very easy to be somebody that, like I said earlier, sits on the sidelines and doesn't do anything. And you think, man, that guy never messes up. He never gets in trouble. He never, there's never anything that comes down on it. Well, it's very easy to not get in trouble. It's very easy to not mess up when you're not stepping outside of that comfort zone and doing new things, not growing, not teaching and mentoring those around you, not trying to learn new techniques and new skills and just knowledge in general. So bring on the failure, bring on the humiliation, because I'll take that all day long over regret, because I didn't do something that I I now see could have helped somebody else. Regret that I'm not good at my job because I don't step out and involve myself in training. I don't want that. That is definitely not what I want. And that's kind of part of the whole, no risk, no reward. If you don't risk anything, there's nothing to gain. You have got to risk something to gain something. And if that is your fragile little, you know, ego, then put it out there, risk it, because that is the only way we're going to gain anything. That is the only way we are going to get any reward. And so that's where I'm trying to get at. That is what I'm trying to challenge you right now, is to look at your life. If you don't know what your purpose is, start taking some time alone. Start thinking, what are you good at? What have you been through that you can share with others? What are some bad things that you have faced, that you have fought, that you have beat, that others are facing right now? Others are fighting right now, that others need to know can be beat right now. That is a purpose. And that is why you face those things. That is why you had to fight through those things. Not because God hated you, but because he knew you can use them to help others in the future. So I think that's a good place for me to stop. I hope that this thought really resonates with you, because I think it's a huge, huge deal. You know, we are all scared of something. So, first of all, we need to be honest about that. We need to be honest about the fact that we do have things that we fear. We do have things that are holding us back. And it's going to take courage to fight that. It's going to take courage to truly reach out and take that first step towards your purpose. That is true courage. I'll go in a house fire all day, every day, because I love it. I love fighting house fires. People that aren't firefighters, they don't get it. They don't understand that. It scares them. That's not anything that scares me. That's nothing that scares me. Getting on a recording that people are going to hear possibly around the world, that scares me. Is it stupid? Probably, but that's what scares me. I've got a class that I'm going to be co-teaching, co-lecturing, whatever you want to call it, with my friend Justin Mann in July. And actually, we're going to be doing it a couple times before then, just to get it, get all the kinks worked out. That scares the crap out of me. It's a class basically built around these podcasts. It's nothing that I have to really try to memorize, and it's basically just me and Justin, me and Justin's ideas. So it's not like it's anything way outside of my comfort zone as far as the content, but still, it's just the fact that I got to get up there and do it, and I've never done anything like this before. Am I going to let that stop me from doing it? Absolutely not, because I feel like that is a part of the plan for me. Hopefully in the future, my wife and I could spend some time taking some trips because of this. I don't know. I hope that I do a decent enough job that it can turn into that. We'll see. but I am going to have some courage to get there. And so, what do you need courage to face? What do you need to be brave to fight? Because it's there. The fear is there. We all have it. You can say you don't as many times as you want to as many people as you want, but it's there. And the more you say it, the more it is ruling your life. So let's stop saying that we're fearless. Let's stop saying that there's nothing holding us back. Let's stop saying that we aren't afraid of anything. And let's start fighting what's really there. Let's start being courageous where it truly counts and start fighting towards that purpose. Thank you for joining me today. I hope, like I said at the first, I hope something I said adds a little value to your life. I've had a few people reach out to me here lately, and I really, really appreciate that. It means so much to me because, like I said, this is awkward to me, and so it is very nice to have people reach out and say that they enjoy it, they've got something out of it, and so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I hope that I can continue to do this as long as I can. Have a great week. I have episode 2 of the conversation with Rick George coming out Thursday. So please, please tune into that. This second part is really digging into more of his story and more of his purpose. And so, that's obviously something I'm very passionate about. And so I really enjoyed that conversation and hope that you will get as much out of it as I did. So thank you for joining me. Look forward to seeing you back every time. Please share and just if something speaks to you, share it as much as you can and help me spread the message that I'm trying to spread, positivity and personal growth. So thank you. I want to thank Woods Force Winter Door Kits, like always, for sponsoring. And until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, stay humble, and do work.